adopting technology, or when it comes to evaluating technology and how it's going to generate an ROI in your business, it's very important to understand what the adoption is going to look like, or what level of adoption is required to get a return on your investment from that technology. If there's a piece of tech you can add to your business that will generate an ROI, but it requires a tremendous lift, a tremendous effort from your agents, then that may be risky, especially if you have larger organizations, right? If a piece of technology requires very little adoption, but can work in the background and have very little impact on what your agents need to do differently on a day-to-day basis, then you're in a better position to see success. Now, in the case of Ruuster, in the case of most technology, I should say, there are levels, right? You've got your novice users, your intermediate level users, and your advanced level users for each piece of technology. That's true of your CRM, of Ruuster, of everything out there. And so what I want to cover here with you today is to show you, or to answer the question, what do my agents need to do for me to get an ROI from this? And I'm actually going to show you, the novice level, intermediate level, and the advanced level of how to get a return on your investment from Ruuster. And the really exciting thing about the way we've built our product, and I'm speaking specifically in the context of FUB users, but this applies to our other CRM users to a lesser extent as well. Your agents don't really even need to know that Ruuster exists in order to get in order for you and for them to convert more deals and for you to get a return on your investment with us. So how is that possible? How can you add a piece of technology and your agents not even know it exists and you generate more business out of it, right? So one, that's the novice level, but I'm going to show you that it is possible, right? So many of the teams that have signed up with us in the past year have come to our product specifically because of a feature we launched in January called AI Nurture. And if you don't know what AI Nurture is, it's designed to target the biggest group of your database. You can see I've got a demo Follow Up Boss account pulled up here. You'll notice the largest group, the largest list out of all my smart lists is my stale leads. And you may call this whatever you want, your D-pawns, your C-pawns, old leads, inactive leads. It doesn't really matter what you call it. It's all the same thing. It's all of the old leads in your database that aren't showing any activity, and thus agents are not following up with them. I mean, look at this. You can see just how low on the smart lists this stale leads pond even is, or smart list this even is. You can see agents are going to be far more concerned with their active leads before calling cold leads. We all know this to be true, right? You might be shaking your head. Yeah, it's true. Agents don't call old and cold leads. So teams come to us and say, please use AI Nurture to activate these leads. Start setting up custom alerts, sending people properties that they're interested in, right property, right time, right? And wake up the database. Kind of our tagline is get these stale leads to be active again. So that's something that we set up for you. We work with you to set up and get these stale and cold leads set up on AI Nurture. With you as the team leader or an admin or operations person, we work on that. The agent never has to know AI Nurture exists. And what the effect is AI Nurture goes to work on these stale leads, gets them to be active again, coming back to the website, looking at properties, favoriting properties, requesting tours of properties. And now those leads move from the stale leads to the 24-hour list, or the most active lead list. So what that means is more opportunities for your agents to call and follow up. So when you consider the lowest common denominator, what is the least amount of activity my agents need to do to see success with Ruuster? It's the same activity you've asked them to do every day. Call the dang leads. The difference is, now that you have AI Nurture, it goes from a smaller list of active leads to a larger list of active leads. So now that AI Nurture has been added, you've got, it may have started with 5 active leads and it may grow to 10 or 8 or 12 active leads. Could be 7 active leads. That's still a 40% increase of the number of active leads for each of your agents, right? And so this generates opportunities for them to have conversations, book appointments, write contracts, close deals. So that is truly the lowest common denominator. Add AI nurture, let the agents work, right? That is the novice level of experience when it comes to using Ruuster in your business. Now, what is the intermediate level? Well, Ruuster built the first ever embedded app to allow you to actually search the MLS from your Follow Up Boss account. Remember, all of this is branded to you, right? This will be your headshot and your logo with your color scheme. So I'm using the Ruuster brand for the sake of this conversation, but when you're a client, we brand everything to you. The client's never going to hear about Ruuster. Ruuster doesn't matter to your clients. We are all about building your brand. So what's that intermediate level look like? Well, this solves another problem. So once you've got agents calling the leads, following up with the leads, converting the leads, getting them to continue to use your CRM, that is that intermediate level, and we solve a new problem at this level, right? With every level you go, there are new unlocks, more problems that you get to solve. And so this problem becomes, well, I was using Follow Up Boss, or my team is using Follow Up Boss. My agents are calling leads. They're talking to them. They're understanding their needs for what they want in a home. But because I can't create a search here inside of FUB, I've got to take those leads as the agent and go to my MLS. You may provide a website, team leader, broker, but your website doesn't have all the MLS filters that I need. This particular client of mine has a very specific need that can only be found inside my MLS. So what happens is your agent takes that lead, plugs their information into the MLS, never to return to the CRM again. And now you've lost all visibility. You're praying and hoping the agents update the pipeline status, right? The lead status as they move through the transaction. And if that agent is disgruntled for some reason and leaves, well, all of those leads you provided are now in their MLS outside of your database. Now, I'm sure you have some type of agreement, and a lot of agents act with honesty and integrity, so they will honor the agreement that you have, but some may leave with them and you'll have no idea. So what did we do? We embedded that this is the next level of using Ruuster. So once you've gotten your agents to call the leads, here's the next level, using the embedded app. Once I click search listings, I can search by city, zip code, neighborhood, school district, address, county. I'm originally from the Atlanta area. Brookhaven is a nice neighborhood here. You can search by multiple as well, right? Maybe I want to add Sandy Springs into the mix too. Or alternatively, I can jump into the map view. Maybe I want to do some drawing. Maybe it's really important for me to stay inside this little space that I've drawn here. And what about the filters? That was the big problem here. That was the reason why they weren't using this. We fixed that as well. When you click on this filter button, we've got some of your common filters that people use on a day in and day out basis, right? Nothing new to see here. Folks like, price reduction and senior community, things of that nature. But if I click on this advanced filters button, we'll by default have your filter selected, or excuse me, we'll have your MLS selected. And now your agents can search fields by their names, or they can scroll through 99.9% of the filters that you have inside your MLS. So that excuse agents had about not having all of the filters that they need is gone. They can get access to all the filters that they want from multiple MLSs. You can set up as many searches as you need, but truthfully, you can set up one search that will apply across multiple MLSs. And if I want to save this search going forward, I can do that. And now the Ruuster platform will automatically send listings as they hit the market without the agent needing to step in and do anything. You can customize the subject line. If you're working with me and my wife, you could add her email in here as well. You can select to be notified as well as an agent. Maybe a property hits the market and you want to see it first. I would recommend using prudence when it comes to this. You don't want to get overwhelmed with alerts. Once you click save, you're good. But maybe I want to review these listings and select a few to send to my client. After reviewing these listings, these 4 are the ones that my client will be most interested in. I can copy this link button, or click copy share link, drop it in here, and now I can actually email properties out from FUB in a way you've never been able to do before. So this is your intermediate level, right? We built it with all of the MLSs, all MLS filters, and we built it to be embedded inside of FUB to eliminate these excuses of, you know, I can't do it inside of FUB, I don't have all my filters. Okay, check. We've got all of that done. No excuses here. This is your intermediate level adoption. Still not required to see a return on your investment. Just call the dang leads that AI Nurture activates and you will see a return on your investment. The advanced level of using this, of using Ruuster, is getting folks to actually download the white labeled app that we build for you. So that's a cool feature separately. I'm not going to go into the details of that today, but the white labeled app that we build for you enables a feature that you've never had before, and this is very important. Push notifications are the most effective form of communication. If you're not familiar with what a push notification is, you likely have Instagram or Facebook on your phone. When someone comments on your post, you get a little notification from Instagram or Facebook saying somebody commented. That is a push notification. It's not a new phone number. It's directly coming from the Instagram or Facebook app. That cannot get stuck in spam filters like email. That cannot get censored out by cell phone carriers like text message. Push notifications are a game changer. And when you get the app onto your client's phone and you can send messages and properties through push notification, you have a direct line to that client that your competitors just don't have. So that's going to be your advanced level. That's going to be for folks who are serious about converting leads. Again, not necessary to see a return on your investment, but if you do it, you're going to get a maximum return. So to boil it back down again to the lowest common denominator, if you expect the least out of your agents to see success with Ruuster, that is call the leads that AI Nurture activates. And those leads can be added to the smart list that your agents are already calling. They just see their list go from 5 to 7, from 6 to 9, right? They just see that list get bigger and bigger, and then that leads to more conversations, more closings. So please, 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 when it comes to evaluating technology, ask yourself, what is the lowest amount of activity I can expect from my agents to see a return on my investment with this? And if that lowest level of activity requires you to now be this technology ninja, then that might not be a good fit for you. If you can just ask agents to call the leads, which you've been asking them to do, now you're just providing them with more opportunity, then you're not actually asking them to do anything more, right? Just call the dang lead. So I think that's a really important thing to cover. I appreciate anyone who actually made it this long with me. This isn't a conversation I typically have on demos because, as you can see, it can get relatively long, but it's completely worth your time, and I appreciate your attention today. Thanks.